Have you ever caught yourself thinking, why does everything feel just a little harder these days? Maybe you've noticed that it takes longer to get up from the couch, or that your energy dips sooner than it used to. It's easy to chalk it up to age, and yes, some changes are natural, but what if I told you that some of the things we keep doing after 70 could actually be holding us back from living longer, stronger, and happier? The truth is, growing older doesn't mean giving up vitality or independence. It's not about doing more, but about doing things differently. And sometimes, the biggest boost to your health isn't about starting a new routine, but stopping the habits that quietly drain your body and mind day after day. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. In this video, we're diving into 5 things you should stop doing after 70 if you want to feel your best. Not just today, but for years to come. These aren't dramatic life overhauls. They're simple mindset shifts and lifestyle tweaks that can make all the difference in how you move, feel, and live. Let's start with something that might surprise you. One of the first things to stop doing after 70 is ignoring small aches and pains. You know the ones, those little twinges in your knee, that sore shoulder, the stiffness in your lower back when you get out of bed. For years, many of us were raised to just tough it out. A sore muscle? Walk it off. A stiff joint? Don't be dramatic. But here's the thing. After 70, your body sends quieter signals than it used to. That dull ache might not just be a sore muscle. It could be the start of something more serious like arthritis, a pinched nerve, or even early signs of joint degeneration. And the longer we ignore those signs, the harder it becomes to fix the issue later on. Think of it like a car. When a dashboard light comes on, you wouldn't cover it with tape and keep driving, right? You'd get it checked. Your body deserves the same care and attention. So if something hurts, talk to your doctor. Don't wait. Early attention can mean faster healing, less medication, and fewer complications down the road. Now, let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention, skipping strength and balance training. It's so easy to fall into the habit of gentle walking and stretching as the only forms of movement. Don't get me wrong, walking is great for circulation and joint mobility, but after 70, your muscles and bones need a little more love to stay strong. The problem is, we often stop challenging our muscles, and when muscles aren't used, they shrink. That's not just a cosmetic issue. It affects your balance, your ability to lift groceries, stand from a chair, or even catch yourself from falling. Falls are one of the biggest risks to health and independence after 70, but they're not inevitable. With a bit of focused strength and balance training, you can reduce your risk dramatically. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. Using light hand weights at home, doing sit-to-stands from a sturdy chair, or even balancing on one foot while brushing your teeth, these small efforts can lead to real, lasting strength. And the best part, you'll feel more confident in your own body again. And while we're on the topic of confidence, let's shift gears to something more emotional, saying yes when you really want to say no. This one might sound less physical, but trust me, it's just as important to your health. Many people over 70 feel pressured to always be available for family, neighbors, volunteer groups, or social circles. You may feel guilty turning down a request for help or hesitant to cancel plans even when you're exhausted, but your energy is precious, and spreading yourself too thin, even in the name of kindness, can slowly wear you down. Stress, resentment, and fatigue can creep in when you're constantly doing things out of obligation instead of desire. Over time, this emotional strain can actually affect your immune system, your sleep, and even your heart health. It's okay to protect your time. It's okay to rest. And it's more than okay to say, I'd love to, but not today. Setting boundaries doesn't make you selfish. It keeps you strong enough to enjoy the moments that truly matter. And the people who care about you? They'll understand. You've earned the right to prioritize you, not in a dramatic or defensive way, but with quiet confidence. If it's not a full yes in your heart, let it be a gentle no. And that brings us to another subtle but powerful shift. Stopping the habit of eating like you're still 40. Now, we won't go too deep into nutrition just yet, but think about how your appetite, digestion, and metabolism have changed over the years. What once gave you energy might now leave you sluggish. Foods you used to tolerate without issue might now cause bloating, indigestion, or inflammation. So many people keep eating the same portions, the same types of snacks, and the same routines they've had for decades, without noticing how their body's needs have shifted. The result? Low energy, weight gain, blood sugar spikes, or digestive issues that sneak up slowly over time. It's not about cutting out everything you enjoy. It's about listening to your body again. Maybe smaller portions, more frequent meals, or adding a bit more fiber and protein. Simple swaps can make a world of difference. Think a handful of nuts instead of a sugary cookie, or adding a bit of avocado to your toast in the morning for healthy fats and lasting fullness. And if you've ever felt like food just sits there longer than it used to, that's your gut telling you it wants something easier to process. Light, fresh meals with cooked veggies, lean proteins, and plenty of water can help you feel more energized and less sluggish through the day. Now we've explored how to tune into your body's signals, protect your energy, and move with strength and intention. It's time to shift our attention to another quiet habit that might be aging you faster than you realize. It's something that creeps in slowly, usually unnoticed, and before long, it starts shaping how you see yourself and your future. I'm talking about holding on to a fixed mindset. Now, you might be wondering, what do you mean by a fixed mindset? Well, it's that little voice that says, I'm too old to start walking again. Or, there's no point in trying. Something new at my age. It's that quiet belief that your best days are behind you, or that learning, growing, and changing are only for the young. Here's the truth. That kind of thinking doesn't just limit your joy. It actually affects your brain and body. Studies show that seniors who believe aging means decline are more likely to experience real physical decline. On the other hand, those who believe they still have purpose, value, and potential live longer and healthier. It's powerful stuff. Just your beliefs can influence your biology. Now, I'm not saying you need to become a skydiver or run a marathon next month, unless you want to. But it is important to remind yourself, you're still growing. You're still capable of learning, trying, and enjoying new experiences. Maybe that means taking up watercolor painting. Maybe it's learning to use that smartphone better so you can FaceTime with your grandkids. Or even joining a walking group and making new friends. The moment you stop seeing yourself as too old is the moment new life opens up again. Think of your brain like a muscle. It thrives when challenged. Trying something new, even something small, creates new neural pathways, boosts memory, and lifts your mood. So instead of asking, "Can I still do this at my age?" try asking, "Why not me?" You might be surprised by how much life is still waiting to be lived. And speaking of things that limit us, let's talk about the final one in today's video: isolating yourself without meaning to. Now, this one is tricky because it often happens slowly, without us even noticing. Maybe the kids are busy with their own lives. Maybe you've lost a few friends over the years, or don't get out as much as you used to. Before long, days blur together, and it just feels easier to stay in, keep the TV on, and avoid the hassle of going out. But here's the thing. While rest is good, isolation is not. Loneliness has been shown to be just as harmful to your health as smoking. It can raise your blood pressure, weaken your immune system, and even increase your risk of memory decline. But it doesn't have to be this way. And no, it's not about becoming a social butterfly overnight or throwing yourself into noisy gatherings you don't enjoy. It's about connection. Real, human connection. A phone call with someone who makes you laugh. A cup of coffee with a neighbor. Even chatting with someone at the grocery store. Don't underestimate the power of small moments. They add up. If you're feeling isolated, start small. Write a letter to someone you've lost touch with. Join a local club, even if it's just once a week. Volunteer for something close to your heart. These moments give you purpose, connection, and yes, joy. And joy is deeply healing. You don't have to go it alone. There are people out there who'd love to know you, hear your stories, learn from you. And when you step outside your own walls, even a little, you let the world remind you just how much you still have to give. We've now talked about how ignoring pain, skipping strength training, putting others first at your expense, sticking with outdated eating habits and holding on to limiting beliefs can quietly chip away at your health. But what's beautiful is this. Each of those things can be changed, no matter your age. You're not behind. You're not stuck. You're simply one decision away from feeling stronger, lighter, and more alive than you have in years. And as we continue this journey, there's one more crucial mindset shift that could make all the difference in how you move through each day. Because sometimes the most important thing to stop doing isn't something physical at all. It's not in your diet or your schedule. It's in your inner dialogue. That quiet, persistent habit of comparing yourself to who you used to be. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's when you look in the mirror and catch yourself thinking, I used to look so much younger. Or when you're out on a walk and feel a little winded, you hear that voice say, I used to go twice this distance with no problem. It might even be as simple as glancing at an old photo and thinking, where did that person go? But here's the truth, and I want you to really take this in. You're still that person. You are not less than who you once were. You are more. You've lived more, loved more, learned more. Your body may have changed, sure. Your pace may have slowed. But the essence of you, the heart, the spirit, the wisdom, that has only deepened. When we constantly compare ourselves to our younger selves, we rob the present of its beauty. We end up chasing a version of ourselves that doesn't exist anymore, instead of honoring the powerful, resilient person we are right now. And that can lead to frustration, shame, and sadness, all of which chip away at our health more than most people realize. So instead of saying, I'm not who I used to be, try saying, I've never been more me than I am today, because you've earned this season of life, and you deserve to live it fully, not just looking back at the past, but embracing the present and shaping your future with joy and purpose. When you stop holding yourself to standards from decades ago, you free up energy to actually enjoy the life you're living now. You start moving for how it feels, not how it looks. You start making choices based on what serves you today, not what used to. That's powerful. And that shift? It doesn't just change your mood. It can literally change your health outcomes. Now, let's take a moment and breathe that in. Really breathe. Because if you've made it to 70 and beyond, you've already defied the odds. You've faced challenges, losses, joys, and changes. You've adapted more than you probably give yourself credit for. And guess what? You're still adapting. That's what this whole journey is about. Small steps, thoughtful choices, and letting go of what no longer serves you. When you stop ignoring your body's signals, stop sidelining your strength. Stop saying yes at your own expense. Stop eating like your body hasn't changed. Stop believing that your best years are behind you. And yes, stop comparing yourself to who you used to be. You make room for something better. You make room for energy, confidence, vitality, peace. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't about perfection. You don't have to get everything right every day. You're allowed to have lazy mornings. You're allowed to enjoy your favorite treats. You're allowed to skip a workout or cancel a plan. But what you don't want to do is give up on the idea that your choices still matter. Because they do. They always have. And they always will. So here's what I want you to remember. You are not done growing. You are not done discovering. You are not done becoming. Life doesn't stop being beautiful after 70. It just asks us to look at it a little differently. Even the smallest change, like walking an extra 5 minutes, saying no when you need rest, reaching out to an old friend, or simply giving yourself a little more grace, can ripple out into something much bigger. You have so much life left in you, so much strength, so much wisdom, and the world still needs it. So, if this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's something you're ready to stop doing? And what are you choosing to start instead? Your experience could inspire someone else today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps this video reach more people who might need to hear this message. And if you want more videos that empower you to live healthier, stronger, and more joyfully after 60 and beyond, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You're not just aging, you're evolving. And every step forward, no matter how small, is something to celebrate. Here's to living your best life, right now, exactly as you are.